NCAA made just short of $1 billion in revenue last year, with their main employees seeing next to nothing, being student athletes. The sources I used for this speech are 247walls.com, statisticbrain.com, businessinsider.com, ncaa.org, cnn.com, NerdWallet, the National Labor Relations Board.gov, Washington Post, and Google Images. I'm Michael Schultz. I'm going to be talking about why college athletes deserve to be paid beyond just their scholarships and stipends that they receive. So the need for pay for college athletes is because there's a large amount of college athletes ranging in sports from football to track and field, with over 400,000 athletes each year. And these athletes face the financial burden because, unable to play the sport for the college, they have to attend the university, thus incurring the expense of going to that university. These students also can't go get jobs because it faces strict rules from the NCAA in order for them to compete. So if they want to earn money to help cover the cost, if their scholarships or lack thereof don't cover it, they don't have very many options. Also, most of their time requirements are close to that of a full-time job, with them averaging 40 to 50 weeks, if not more, especially for Division I athletes, in a time commitment. So there's not really, and then that plus the time that they have to be devoted to being a college student as well and maintain grades to pursue a degree just adds more time, that there's not really much more that they can do to help ease the burden financially for going to this college. Scholarships also don't cover nearly as much as people think, especially since if an athlete is injured or cut, most of these scholarships are only renewable annually and aren't 4-year guaranteed scholarships no matter what. So if an athlete is injured, he may first of all have to cover the costs out of pocket for his injury, but also maybe cut from the scholarships and thus have to pursue his degree without any support at all from the university. This chart shows the highest paid public employees per state, and the blue ones are the only ones that aren't college coaches. So how would college athletes be compensated? Well, the coaches and athletic directors are some of the highest paid public employees in most of the states. And so if you decreased their salaries and thus distributed among college athletes, that would be a start. Also, each year, the revenue that the NCAA generates increases at a much higher rate than the scholarships that they provide out to student athletes. Thus, there's a gap that could be used to give these athletes funds and have them actually be employees of the university, since they do help generate revenue. Pay could be determined based on the sport that the player plays and like their value to the university, because their value extends both in their play and how much hype that the sport gets and revenue it can generate, and also on any of their likeness, since they sign their likeness away for jerseys and commercials, any of that stuff. The players receive nothing from that. This shows the difference in gap between the amount that schools pay in scholarships and the amount of revenue that the NCAA can generate in the various athletic departments. So the benefits of paying student athletes would be that college athletes wouldn't have the pull of the pros pulling them out of college, because it's just they can go and they can see the money. They hear offers and stuff and they want to leave the college because they're not earning anything but are still expected to perform. So more athletes are likely to complete their degree. There's also less money wasted on investigations. The NCAA wastes millions of dollars investigating students for receiving pay because it violates their amateur status. But if you got rid of that and athletes were allowed to get paid, you wouldn't have to waste this money. It could instead go to the athletes who deserve to receive the money anyway. So there's need to spread the awareness about it. The NCAA is a large organization, and schools such as Northwestern have already attempted to unionize, but since they're facing a large organization in the NCAA, it's very hard for them to actually unionize and get rights to get paid from the NCAA. So people need to help support the athletes and get the knowledge out there that college athletes can and should be paid.